Right then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, Alexander Zinchenko has completed his medicals with Arsenal in the USA. Contract signed until 2026. It is only an official announcement pending on that one, as per Fabrizio Romano, the finest. We'll be talking about Ben Jacobs speaking there about Tielemans. He has said if they want him, it will get done. There is nothing any more to talk about in this one. He says if they want him, they will get him. It will get done. We'll talk about Marcelo Flores is joining Real Oviedo on loan. Another fantastic Arsenal talent that you guys really need to watch. Marcelo Flores, Mexican born, but absolutely very, very magnificent. Melo, according to Rudy Galetti, he has been offered to Arsenal today, and Arsenal are preparing and thinking about bidding their official offer for the Brazilian midfielder. Although Tielemans is on top of the priority, they feel Melo could be a cheaper option as compared to Tielemans. We'll talk about Lucas Paqueta. There is a simple twist in that one. The new owner of Lyon wants to keep the player. He doesn't want to sell Lucas Paqueta. Jean-Michel Aulas would be very, very open to selling the player, and also Lucas Paqueta is very open to moving to the Premier League. However, the new owner at Lyon thinks otherwise. We'll talk about Bukayo Saka. Is there actually a woe to keep him? Now, more and more reports are claiming that Bukayo Saka is keen on an Arsenal contract, and Arsenal are keen to give him a new contract as well, and they look at him as untouchable. Something is in between there. Why we have not? Why he's not signed it? Are we struggling to keep Bukayo Saka? I will talk about that. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on that as well. Hit the like button for me. Let's get this video to 800 likes. Subscribe to the podcast as we are very close to 55,000. That is only if you love the content and if you feel I bring you the latest around Arsenal and you trust my content. If you don't, no reason to subscribe, no reason whatsoever. Now, let's start off with the Fabrizio Romano's update on Alexander Zinchenko. In the last few minutes, Alexander Zinchenko has completed his medicals with Arsenal Football Club and now has also signed his contract as well until 2026. Like I reported in the morning, Pep Guardiola woke up, went to a press conference and was speaking to the media, and he said, look, Alexander Zinchenko, we are very, very happy and glad as a club that we've had a chance to talk to him, say our farewells very, very well, and now he's moving on to Arsenal Football Club. This today he's done the second part of his medicals, completed them, and contracts have been signed on a 4-year deal until 2026. No surprise here. Right until last Friday, £30 million plus €2 million plus £2 million actually in add-ons are reported by Fabrizio Romano, and also no surprises on personal terms. 4-year agreement has been penned down as well. So the player has signed for Arsenal Football Club. Medicals completed today, and we expect him to be one of the few players that are going to be part of our midfield next campaign. Welcome to Arsenal, Alexander Zinchenko. You are now a Gunner, and we expect the huge impact that we are anticipating to be relayed in reality. So Alexander Zinchenko, Ukrainian international, 25 years of age, joins us from Manchester City. That is done. That is dusted. Now let's move on to the other story. Now, before we get into the match of the incomings and whatever is coming next, Arsenal have also agreed a deal with Real Oviedo to sign Marcelo Flores on loan. Now, this loan deal does not have an option to buy and does not have an obligation to buy. Marcelo Flores joins them for the purposes of game time and also personal development as a player. But I think, if you ask me, one of the most exciting players right now after Omar Hutchinson, actually I would even think that before I rate Omar Hutchinson, I would really rate Marcelo Flores. So he joins Real Oviedo. Very interesting talent. Type into YouTube Marcelo Flores, and you will understand why I really do not report much about the under-23s and their moves, but you'll understand why I've talked about this guy. Absolutely very, very talented, can play on either wings, and I can also play as an attacking midfielder. I think next campaign, after that loan to Real Oviedo, he might stay with Arsenal, and we will be seeing much of him. Now, I want us to dive into Ben Jacobs and Charles Watt's updates on the transfer situation. Ben Jacobs has been speaking about Yuri Tielemans, and he said he's made himself very, very clear. He said, with the Yuri Tielemans deal, there is nothing for us to talk about here. There is nothing new for us to debate about. It is not a debate. It is a statement. This is what he said. If Arsenal want Tielemans, it will get done. Talks with Leicester won't take a long time. It is a deal that can still happen towards the end of the transfer window. Arsenal want to pay mid 20. Says Arsenal want to pay in mid 20 million, while Leicester want slightly more than 30 million pounds. That is according to Ben Jacobs. So, like I reported today, the agent of the player is trying to push for a move. Mikel Arteta is pushing to get Yuri Tielemans to the Emirates Stadium this summer. No surprises here. Nothing is changing. He's not signing a new contract. He's not giving up on Arsenal. He's reluctant to stay with them, and is very much eager to sign for Arsenal Football Club and work with Mikel Arteta. So, Ben Jacobs, if they want him, they will get him. So the question now, lads, is after Alexander Zinchenko, who is coming in next? What are we working on as Arsenal Football Club? Worry no more. Charles Watts, Goal.com. Correspondent, Arsenal correspondent for Goal.com. At times I really mix up the order. Arsenal correspondent for Goal.com or Goal.com correspondent for Arsenal. I think Arsenal correspondent for Goal.com. That is how he introduces himself on the YouTube channel. So he's been speaking about the next move Arsenal trying to make, and he says right now the priority is a winger. Arsenal have already started activating their moves for the plan B on Rafinha. Now we do not know which name is topping the list at the moment. Remember in June we talked about Christopher Nkunku, Jared Bowen, Moussa Diaby, Leroy Sané. We talked about so many other names, and Rafinha was on top of the list. At least that is what we knew. But at the moment, Arsenal are not letting anyone understand, or they're not revealing any kind of information on which name is topping the list. I want to confirm this. Fabrizio Romano, at this point in time for now, knows that we are working on a winger as our next priority, but he doesn't know who exactly. Charles Watts, as well as a journalist that is working very, very closely with the club and has those inner fingers and and fingernails deep down into the squad, also doesn't know. So Fabrizio, of course, Fabrizio has already come out and said at the moment Edu is working very secretively. He's keeping everything very, very He's keeping everything very very secretive, and no one actually knows. But Alexander Zinchenko deal out of the blue. Are we going to sign a winger out of the blue? Oh, guys, I would love that. I would love to wake up tomorrow and Arsenal are on the verge of signing Leroy Sané. I would really love that. But according to Charles Watts, a winger is the priority. Arsenal have already started. They are making their moves onto the transfer window. So let's wait and see who exactly that is going to be. Now, I also want to talk about Arthur Melo as well. According to Rudy Galetti, Arthur Melo has been now offered to Arsenal Football Club, and apparently Arsenal are preparing an official offer for the player. Now, the Brazilian could cost less than Yuri Tielemans because he's no longer in the plans of Juventus. So we could see Arthur Melo going for less than 20 million pounds or less than 25 million pounds. Now, I understand at the moment Yuri Tielemans is a priority, and there is nothing that is going to change my trajectory on this channel. I think Yuri Tielemans is the central midfielder that will be coming in. So look, Melo is a player that we've loved. Melo is a player that we appreciate. Mikel Arteta loves him. And the Brazilian connection could force Edu to jump onto the move because under the guise and under the excuse that it is a cheap deal. It is a deal that we can complete very, very easily. But at the end of the day, it is going to be who is the priority. It is always going to... And listen, Rudy Galletti is a very, very credible journalist. Very credible journalist. So do not try to, poke fingers and holes in his information. He's a very, very credible journalist. But my question: do Arsenal go for Arthur Melo on top of their priority? Mikel Arteta is not that kind of guy. We've seen him when he has a priority, he actually works on it. He actually tries to get the deal done. We've seen it with the likes of Martin Odegaard. He worked on the Martin Odegaard deal until the end of the summer. He waited and waited and waited. And according to Fabrizio Romano on Yuri Tielemans, Arsenal are waiting and waiting and waiting. So Arthur Melo offered to Arsenal, lucrative deal, honestly. But this one was better in January. Give me Arthur Melo in January, and I qualify for the UEFA Champions League. But right now, I think Tielemans would be the better fit. So I'll try to compare the two players. Nothing to do. But I think Tielemans is the one I would go for, honestly. Now, we have a little twist in the Lucas Paqueta deal. According to sources in France, the new owner at Lyon wants Lucas Paqueta to stay at the club. Paqueta wants to leave France this summer, and he feels the Premier League is the best destination for him at the moment, as per Fabrizio Romano. Jean-Michel Aulas is open to selling to any club that will meet his obligations and his standards. However, the new owner feels Lucas Paqueta should stay. And I'm going to say this, lads. We only need to sign Lucas Paqueta if it is a slide. It's a slide deal. If it's a matter of sliding to get it done, I'm okay with that. But if it is a hassle, if it is battling with Lyon, if it is battling with owners, if it is battling with Jean-Michel Aulas, if it is battling with other clubs in a bidding war, walk away. Arsenal, walk away. Top quality player. I love him. I rate him more than I rate Yuri Tielemans. But we should only go and sign him if it is easy. We should only go and sign him if it is very easy. Because we have Yuri Tielemans, and that is easy. Jacob Benson said it. It gets done if they want him. Can you imagine that? It gets done if they want him. And we want to go and struggle for Lucas Paqueta. No. I don't want us to waste our time. And at the end of the day, we don't get in a central midfielder. Go and sign Arthur Melo. Go and sign Yuri Tielemans. There is no competition there. And even if Arthur Melo decides to go back to Barca, I think Tielemans has already decided to come to Arsenal. And we need to show some little integrity by fulfilling our end of the bargain. Finally, Bukayo Saka again. Sources are re-echoing that Arsenal have told a couple of top clubs that the player is untouchable. My question is, why has this guy not signed a contract up until now? This contract, the contract negotiations were opened in January. Why until now have we failed to find a breakthrough in negotiations? Why? And then also, why is it being reported time in, time out that Arsenal are saying the same thing? He is untouchable. Are we struggling with... are there clubs that are making it hard for Saka to sign a new contract? Is anyone offering some money? I don't know. But I just wanted to speak about it. just a little bit. But let me hope he signs. Because Mikel says same intention the player has just as the club. So that means he will stay with us.